Woo! What is going on, everybody? I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for all taking time out of your Sunday day to check these videos out. Do me a favor, hit that like button so that these videos can be circulated within a YouTube algorithm and that my content can continuously be recommended to you. Also, follow me up here. See that area up there in the black? Follow me up there on Patreon. Follow me down here on these other little platforms that's listed right here, all right? Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to hear in this video that I'm going to show y'all here in a little bit that this is a historical amount of money that Trump raised. And I think this is just only in Florida alone. Crazy. $50 million. So you're going to see in here that there's been presidents that have tried to come together. They tried to come together and then have a fundraiser to raise a certain amount of money. And they had a artist try to perform for them, Lizzo, who after that said she's going to quit. She's going to quit. Yeah, right. So yeah, President Bill Clinton, President Obama, President Biden all had an event up in New York to raise money for the DNC or raise money for the Democratic Party nominee, Joe Biden, pretty much President Joe Biden. And when they did that, of course, to appeal to certain people, they had Lizzo come out to perform. You know, I guess they're trying to use this as like a caveat to say, oh, she's back, she's okay. Because if y'all don't know, Lizzo was facing a whole lot of allegations, sexual harassment, bullying, et cetera, you know, all the things she claimed to cry about that's happening to her right now. Yeah. Anywho, Trump like doubled what they raised. In fact, just hear it for yourself.
Everybody wants change. Our country is really doing poorly. We're a laughing stock all over the world, and we're going to get that change very quickly. And this has been some incredible evening before it even starts, because people, they wanted to contribute to a cause of making America great again, and that's what's happened. We're going to make America great again. Everyone knows it. The election's going to be in now a little more than 6 months, and it's going to be the most important, I believe, election we've ever had. I think it's going to go down as the most important date in the history of our country. That's November 5th, will be the most important date in the history of our country.
And that was President Trump last night after a record fundraiser where the RNC and the 45th president hauled in a record $50 million at a Palm Beach event as new leadership at the RNC prioritizes fundraising and ensuring a secure and transparent election this November. Joining me right now with more on the state of affairs is RNC Chairman Michael Whatley and Co-Chair Lara Trump. Thanks very much to you both for being here this morning.
Thank you, Maria. Great to be with you.
Great to be on with you, Maria.
Congratulations. A big night last night. Michael, let me kick this off with you. What does that kind of a haul get you? Where will you allocate this money?
We are going to spend every single dollar that we raise on two key critical core missions for the RNC, which are getting out the vote and protecting the ballot. And we're going to make sure that we are focusing on the battleground states and districts where we need to be competitive and making sure that every dollar that we raise is going to be putting lead on target.
Get out the vote is important, but ensuring a secure election is what a lot of people want to know what you're doing about, Lara. Tell me about that. You've said this is a priority. You said that the Republican National Committee has been revamped and is now a bonded entity with the Trump campaign. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look, I've been through two previous elections, of course, as my father-in-law has run. And look, we have always seen the support of the RNC, but we've never been one cohesive unit. And the beauty of things is that right now we are. That means we don't need two people to do the same job. As Michael just laid out, every penny of every dollar will go to its highest and best use. We have combed through contracts and vendors. We are making sure we are getting the best deal on everything. But when you talk about election integrity, It is vital. It is the #1 thing that we are focused on, aside from getting out the vote, which of course Donald Trump himself will do for us. People are excited, and if they could go vote for him today, they would go do it. We are ensuring that this election, we are leaving nothing to chance. I talked about it previously on this show with you before, Maria. We never before at the RNC have had an election integrity division. All of our resources we can put into this division as needed. And with a haul like we got last night, with a march like we had, we have the funding now to ensure we can train poll workers, not just have poll watchers, that we can have lawyers in every voting precinct necessary across this country. We are making sure that we leave nothing to chance, because we have to understand the importance of this election. And I think what you saw last night, let me just clarify how big this was. Prior to last night, the largest single event fundraiser in politics ever was the one that Joe Biden had, and he needed 3 presidents to haul in $26 million. He needed celebrities like Lizzo, Stephen Colbert, Anna Wintour. We needed one man, Donald J. Trump, one president, to double that. It was history made last night. Some of the people who came last night to this event had not contributed at a level like this ever before. People are not sitting on the sidelines anymore. They understand what's at stake. It's a must-win election. And from the election integrity perspective, we're focused on it like a laser at the RNC.
Tell me more about that, Michael. Are you getting out and getting local support to defend the election? You've talked about increasing the number of observers, as Lara just walked us through. What can you give us in terms of specifics that you're doing to that end?
Sure. 2 critical aspects to election integrity. First, we've got to make sure that we have the rules of the road in place in every state to ensure a fair election. So we are working with state legislatures. We're working with boards of elections. We're working with secretaries of state to make sure that we get the rules of the road right. And if they're not, we're going to go file lawsuits. We've already filed over 80 different lawsuits in 24 states to make sure that we have the ground ready to go for safe elections. Secondly, we are recruiting and training tens of thousands of observers, and we're recruiting and training thousands of attorneys to make sure that we are in the room whenever a vote is being cast and a vote is being counted.
Is it too late at this point to make the rules right? I mean, I was reading a story earlier that Virginia Democrats are trying to ban election audits after the fact. I mean, what can you do now while you have the time, Michael? And is it too late to make some of the changes you're efforting?
It's absolutely not too late at all, and that's why we are so aggressively working in all of these states. We have set up election integrity program, as Laura just mentioned. We are hiring election integrity directors and election integrity councils in all of our battleground states to make sure that we're working with the state governments and the local governments all across the board to get the rules of the road right. What we want are fair, accurate, secure, and transparent elections, and when we have it, then we're going to protect the sanctity of that ballot. We're going to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat.
Lara, tell me about the states that you're zeroing in on. I saw a piece today that in Pennsylvania, the fracking boom is weighing on Biden's reelection. People are feeling the impact of bad policy. Are there states that you're zeroing in on either to underline bad policy or to ensure that you're policing the rules of the road?
Yeah, well, listen, every state matters, obviously, but there are the key battleground states, I think, is, as Michael mentioned, that we really do have to focus on. Pennsylvania is absolutely one of those states. We also have to focus on states like Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, a state that was a huge win for Donald Trump in 2016. I think we can get back under our belt. Georgia, a state that Donald Trump also wants to focus highly on. You're going to see another huge fundraising haul out of that state next week as well from President Trump. And so listen, all the battleground states we're highly focused on. There are 19 key counties around the country. We must win in order to ensure Donald Trump becomes the 47th president. We are incredibly focused on doing all that. And by the way, just to piggyback on the election integrity component, anyone out there who wants to volunteer to do any job whatsoever, whether you're a lawyer, you want to volunteer, a person who wants to ensure that we have free and fair elections, which, by the way, every person person, Republican, Democrat, or independent, should one in this country, protectthevote.com. Come join us. Come ensure we have free and fair elections. Because, Maria, quite frankly, if we do not, nothing else ultimately matters. We are not able to call ourselves the United States of America anymore.
What about the meddling that we could see from outside people like, for example, the Chinese Communist Party meddling? Or there's a piece in the Wall Street Journal this week by Holman Jenkins. It says a disinformation October surprise is coming, saying that will the press be ready if for the third election in a row our national security state meddles, Michael?
Look, I think that we are seeing right now that this election truly, truly matters on national security, on every one of these issues. When America is weak, the world is a far more dangerous place. And right now, Joe Biden's feckless leadership has shown China, has shown Ukraine, has shown Iran that they can feel free to be much more aggressive on the world front, to the point where even they will try and meddle with our elections here. What we need to do is make sure that we are getting our message out to every family all across the country, because when the American voters see the dramatic difference between 4 years under Joe Biden and 4 years under Donald Trump, they are going to vote for change. They are going to vote to have us return to Donald Trump and his presidency to help make America strong and make sure that our leadership in the world is unquestioned.
Lara, I saw a lot of business people at that fundraiser last night. Do you think that business is coming back? I know that there are a few that President Trump has been unable to get, like a Steve Schwarzman or a Mrs. Adelson. What are you doing in that regard in terms of luring business back to President Trump?
Well, listen, the people we had last night at this fundraiser are the titans of industry. And some of these people, Maria, did not initially support Donald Trump in this election, but they understand now this is the only way we save our country, to get behind this one man. He truly is the person who they know can do it. And I think we're going to be targeting all of those people out there. And I don't even think we need to ask them. I think they will come back in the fold, because when the choice is between going, as we have been with Joe Biden, on a destructive path for our country and the world, or saving America under Donald Trump, every person in this country wants to save America. That's why I believe they will come over to the team, and we're going to get Donald Trump back in there.
All right. We so appreciate your time, both of you. Thanks very much for laying it all out for us. Michael Whatley and Lara Trump, thank you. We will see you soon.
Thanks, Maria.
Now, y'all saw that, you heard that, right? But my biggest thing I want to take away from it is that this video wasn't necessarily about the amount of money that Trump raised or anything like that. What I want to hone in on is the election integrity. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have no faith in it. I have no expectations. Therefore, I won't be disappointed, and I will not be surprised. Just like I did a video not too long ago showing you guys in Chicago, even though there were two Dems that were running, one particular one who was leading by over 10,000 votes, she was somebody who was going to be tough on crime. And she was a white woman. That's the reason why I mentioned her color. You're going to see why. Well, then her opponent, who was down by over 10,000 votes, all of a sudden, some mail-in votes that was a human error that they forgot about. All of a sudden, 10,000 votes showed up for this guy. What color do y'all think he was? Yeah, you got it. He was black. Yeah, he was black. So 10,000 votes showed up for this guy. Mail-in ballots at that. It was a human error while she led by over 10,000 votes. It put the margin to like 0.01% at how close he was. She ended up beating him. But my point is, when you hear about things like this, in this last election, guys, I'm telling you right now, you can say what you want to. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. Too much weird stuff just went on. And when weird stuff go on, it just makes you question everything. Was there election interference? You can say it was. Was this a fair election? You can say it was. Was there election interference? You can say it wasn't. Was this a fair election? You can say that it wasn't. But the fact that so much fishy stuff happened with dead people voting, ballot harvesting, people are being charged right now that the mainstream media is not showing you guys being caught on camera harvesting ballots and votes, all these things like that. How everything seems to really weirdly happen during elections. Oh, some machine went down. Oh, we had this. Oh, we had a minor earthquake. Oh, we had a water main bust. It just really just makes you like, okay, really, come on. I mean, these things weren't being tested. Now, to me, because of the fact I have a son, my youngest one, is in cybersecurity, okay? That's what he getting his degree in, cybersecurity. And when he tells me all these different things that they can hack and get into, anything electronic, anything, he can hack, and they can hack into printers, this camera, anything. I'm not going to give you all the details of how he say they do it, which I don't even know how they do it because I don't understand that lingo. But for him to say something like the only safest way that you're going to feel safe about having those data is that they actually just turned around and went back to the old school days, back in the Pilgrim days, where that's what he just said. He don't know. He said if they went back into the Abraham Lincoln them days where they actually had to put a ballot in there, boom, like that, paper ballot. Otherwise, he said you just never know because they can find some shape, form, and fashion to hack things, change things up. They can do that. Wow. Yeah. So that's my point. To me, if you want to ask me, you talk about fair elections, what'd be wrong with us going back to paper? Count them up right there on the spot. What would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with you casting your ballot and not going home? You just cast your ballot and you just wait. What? I don't get it, folks. What would be wrong with you having a Trump side and a Biden side? And it don't matter who you show up as. You don't have to wear your memorabilia. You don't have to wear anything related to either party that you want, that you think you're going to be voting for. What would be wrong with going right up to the Trump box and dropping it in, right up to the Biden box and dropping it in? What would be wrong with that? What are we scared? I don't want nobody to know that I voted for Trump. I don't want nobody to know I voted for Biden. This is the sad part that gets me about a lot of folks. Where did this thing change the society? Because I voted for the first time in 2020 and I voted for Trump. I wasn't scared to say I voted for Trump. I wasn't scared of what any family thought about me, any friends thought about me, co-workers, whatever. That's my choice. It would be no different than you. Oh, I shouldn't have married the wife that I'm with right now. I should have married. No, it's my choice. And I'm standing by my choice. And if anybody votes the opposite of me, I'm going to applaud them for standing by their choices. Well, I'm not going to get, I ain't your friend no more. You ain't my neighbor. Y'all, that's ridiculous. Well, I'm not voting. I ain't going to have nothing to do with my neighbors now because they voted Trump. I'm not going to have nothing to do with my neighbor because they voted Biden. What? For two men who don't know who y'all are, don't care about you, don't know you, don't know when you're going to die or anything, won't be there when you die, and y'all have completely eradicated your friendship, your relationship, disowned family over who they voted for. That says a lot about you than actually really the candidates that y'all even voting for. Anyway, that's my take on that, ladies and gentlemen. What is your take on this? I know Donald Trump raised all that money, but I want to know what are y'all takes on the election. Do you think that the election was stolen? Do you think it was a fair election? Do you think too much weird stuff happened? Whatever the case may be that you think on this, even if you think that Biden fairly won, leave it in the comment section. That's what this is for. It's open, folks. Let me hear your thoughts. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. And before I get out of here, hit that like button before y'all leave this channel, all right? Get into those cell phones and encourage somebody to subscribe to the channel. Go into your contact list. If you got social media like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, DM somebody and encourage them to subscribe to this channel, all right? Appreciate it. And again, shout out to Al, who I met in a random Walmart in the middle of, I don't even know where we were in Kentucky, who recognized me. Really nice meeting you. And again, I'm praying for you and your wife. And tell your brother, I'm sorry, he wasn't there. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.